Hi, welcome everybody to this presentation Oracle Cloud Infrastructure Operations Insights and OCI native service. I am Ashish Agarwal, one of the product managers in Oracle Enterprise and Cloud Manageability Group. Operations Insights service enables business executives, database, and IT administrator to make informed, data driven database resource and performance management decisions. It has two applications, capacity planning and Oracle SQL Warehouse. Capacity planning helps with optimizing operational costs, and Oracle SQL Warehouse is a long term store for SQL performance data, which can help you to maximize performance. Capacity planning application does trending and forecasting of resource demand using 25 months historical data for Oracle Autonomous Databases. It has linear and machine learning forecasting models inbuilt into the service. It provides automated daily forecast which predicts near-term capacity utilization issues. This helps the personas to be proactive about capacity. It helps to quickly isolate largest, most utilized, and fastest growing databases. It answers questions about underutilized servers so that someone can repurpose and reduce the operational cost. Oracle SQL Warehouse provides insights into SQL performance using 25 months worth of historical data in the following dimensions. One can proactively identify SQLs that are degrading in performance, SQLs that are unpredictable in performance. One can identify application SQL performance issues and improve performance even more if they fix these issues. It helps to identify sequels which are changing execution plans and provides insights into top sequels across fleet of Oracle autonomous databases by CPU and IO. You can find common patterns of SQL performance issues across fleet of Oracle autonomous databases as well as compare SQL performance across prod, dev, and test. Let's look at the actual demo of the service. So after logging in into the Oracle Cloud, Operations Insight service is part of monitoring and diagnostics. So you can see Operations Insights under monitoring and diagnostics. So let us look at the Oracle SQL Warehouse now. As you can see, I am analyzing Oracle eSales compartment for last 7 days. I have 48 databases in my inventory and I am analyzing over 4K SQLs. The top panel gives me the insights by top SQL by CPU, top SQL by IO. And these are the automated findings in the 4 use cases that I have mentioned: degradation, variability, inefficiency, and execution plan changes, and also the common findings across the entire fleet of Oracle autonomous databases. And the below chart, one can do a custom analysis of the SQL response time. Now let's drill down into one of the use cases of a SQL degradation. So what it says is there are 20 SQLs that have degraded in last 7 days. These are the trends out of the 4K SQLs that's being analyzed. So let's drill down into that. It gives me a load map nicely for the 20 SQLs uh, based on each of the databases the SQLs may be running on. And the size represents the average response time currently, and the color represents the percentage change. So SQL that begins with the 02 is degraded the most. It has the most average response time, and it has degraded by more than 100%. The legend tells me the color of how much percentage it has degraded. And so this is a master detail chart. The selection below gives me, how the time series for that particular SQL is in the last 7 days. As I can see that the SQL is systemically degrading in the last 7 days. Also, if the SQL is common across multiple databases, you can see this black line and is highlighted across different databases if the same SQL is running across various databases. And as well as in the detailed chart, we can see that the same SQL is running and getting compared against this particular database's INVCP. And a customer, DBA, or a developer, or the DevOps team is welcome to do the analysis in a different way. I'm now comparing I'm now doing the analysis based on executions per hour, and I can see that the execution per hours is getting reduced over a period of time from 25th of September to 2nd October. So let's drill down. So we were at the fleet level. From fleet level, we were able to identify the 20 degrading SQLs, and out of the 20 degrading SQLs, we have been able to identify one single SQL that can have the most impact across the fleet of databases. So let's drill down into that particular SQL and get the SQL details. So I can see if I click on the show button, I get the SQL text of that particular SQL. I get the database name, the database type, and the OCID also. I get the OCID of that particular database. The database version is 12.102 currently. The performance statistics, I see the average response time of this SQL has increased by over 1000%. The executions per hour, the variability, inefficiency, and what's the executed range for this SQL. Most importantly, I get the execution plan insights. I know that there are 2 plan counts. I get the analysis of the plans itself also as to which is the best performing plan and the worst performing plan. I can see the performance analysis, the performance trend based on average response time. I can go and find out based on how the executions per hour are occurring. I get the breakdown of CPU, IO, and the inefficient wait events. I get the histogram for the response time distribution. Currently, there is only 1 bar because all the executions are happening over 5 minutes. I also get the response time breakdown by the plan, and I can do it by database also. Now let's do the comparison use case. If I drill down more, I am able to compare the SQL's execution plan. So I can see this particular plan, which was effective till September 27th, is better, and now I have a bad plan. Similarly, you can compare based on other metrics also. So that's the comparison by plan. If I want to compare it between my different databases like dev, test, or prod, I can compare it by changing the compare option to database, and I can see based on average response time. Now I am comparing the SQL. Moving on further, if I want to see what's my best plan and worst plan, so I can get that details by clicking the executions plans tab, and I can see my plan, and here I see that this is the worst performing plan. It has an operations cost of 329 million, and it's doing a full table scan. I can see that. Now quickly I can turn to the best performing plan by changing the tab. I can see now that the best plan, the operations cost is around 22.9 million, and now it's doing the table access by row ID.